Welcome to the Scene Project Songwriter Showcase here at the Midway Saloon in St. Paul, Minnesota. With me now is Christine Passig. Welcome to the show, Christine.
Thanks for having me.
Thrilled to have you.
Thank you.
I haven't seen you since we were at the awards show back in April. How have you been?
Busy.
Yeah.
Very busy. Yeah, doing some solo shows. I'm in a band. A lot of collaborative effort. Leaving Pagetown was up here earlier. We've been doing some things with them and their new album and background and keys and stuff. And yeah, just finished up a Christmas show. That's another collaborative effort. A bunch of guys from different bands in my area. And we put on this show. We've been rehearsing since May. So we had our final show just this weekend, and it's so great.
Is it a little bittersweet to finish the last one off and know that that's done?
Yeah, but we're also talking about next year already, so we have something else to look forward to.
That's great. Mm-hmm. Well, and that's something that, obviously a lot smaller scene in South Dakota. We're all pretty tight-knit, but because it's so small that we have maybe, I don't want to say fewer opportunities, but fewer opportunities for things like that, right? To get together and to do something totally different. It's hard to pull yourself out of, your main gig.
Sure, absolutely.
So I appreciate having a little bit bigger, scene up here that you get to do a lot. Obviously, I follow you on social media all the time, and you're always so busy, and you're doing a lot of social media stuff for our Midwest Country Music Organization as well now.
Right.
I want to shout you out and give you your flowers. Thank you so much. It's been looking great.
Thanks.
And, we appreciate it, and definitely deserve the applause there because it's a collaborative effort, the org in general, right? It's not a top-down organization that we're a part of. It is a bottom-up organization.
Grassroots, very much so.
Exactly, and it's so great that you've taken the lead on some of this stuff and really helped out. And I'm a newish member still. I won't be able to say that, I guess, here soon as I'll crest my first full official year.
Sure.
But I only needed a little bit of permission, and once I had a phone call with PT Paul Thomas, and he was just like, "Look, bud, just go do it," you know, and kind of let us know. I was like, "Okay, you just told the right guy to let me go ahead and do it," and you're much of the same ilk that we don't need to be told what to do. We can kind of assess what needs to be done, and then we're just going to go and do it.
Oh, absolutely. And for me, the Midwest Country Music Org kind of was my blossoming point as a musician, and getting to meet other musicians, especially at the award show, and making connections and becoming a cheerleader for the other artists. I'm at a point of my life, I'm almost 50, and I'm not out here to be like the biggest next star. I love working with other musicians. I love that collaborative magic that happens when you get with other musicians and you just have a boatload of fun making music together. And so I started my own studio in the basement, and I've started recording like on my own, just so I could learn enough to help other org members. And I've been working with Greg Huberty, who produced Leaving Pagetown's album, in some other projects that he needs keys on or vocals on, and now I can do it from my basement. I don't have to travel to where he is to do that, and that was a big goal of mine.
Right, and that's the beauty of the org and, and what it is, but also of the beauty of the internet. I mean, hasn't it just changed all of our lives for the better? I know we talk a lot of smack on the social media and things, but it's really, this is not possible, right? I mean, and the scene projects and everything that I've been working on for the last 6 to 8 months isn't possible without, Facebook and the Midwest Country Music Organization. I would not be here without it. So
I would totally 100% agree.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, why don't you go ahead and play us one of your songs?
Okay. Well, I would say that I am more of a cover artist, and so I am a burgeoning, fledgling baby songwriter. So these are debuts that I've not really presented to anybody before or much, and so I am really comfortable behind the keyboard in a piano bar setting, taking requests, playing some Adele, playing some Sheryl Crow or Fleetwood Mac or whatever the crowd wants to hear. And so to find my own voice in songwriting has been a really fun journey. So this song is really new, like in the last few weeks, and it is about that mindset we had towards winter, and how we have kind of a negative view of winter, especially here in the Midwest, how cold it is and how depressing it is. But I've been reading a book called How to Winter, and it's trying to change the mindset of how we talk about winter and how we look at winter, and it caused me to reflect on my own childhood and as a young mom, and my kids are now 20 and 23 almost, and just remembering how they loved winter. And so this is called Snowbound. Snowflakes were falling for the first time that year. I ran out in my mittens and hat. I tilted my head back and caught the flakes on my tongue. And Mama from the kitchen just laughed. And it was clean, new and pure, covered all the dirt in the yard. I've been waiting for this moment all year. Didn't care about the cold. I was 6 years old and snowbound. A few years later and friends were far to find. Winter came round with a chill. Daddy pulled out the sleds, grabbed onto my hand, saying, we're on our way to the hill. And it was clean, new and pure, covered all the dirt in the yard. I've been waiting for this moment all year. I didn't care about the cold. I was 13 years old and Snowbound. Sliding down the driveway, swearing at the snowplow driving by. It's so easy to forget all the beauty that's there if we'd only look up to the sky. Now I'm a mama, life sure goes fast, full of laughter and tears, and that's mine. But come December, their little eyes grow so wide when the first wintry flakes start to fly. And it's clean, new and pure, covering all the dirt in the yard. They've been waiting for this moment all year. Don't care about the cold. They're my whole world in Snowbound. Yeah, they're Snowbound.
That was absolutely lovely, Christine. You got a tear out of me.
Thank you. Aw.
It happens a lot on this stage, let me tell you what. Oh, I love that you're a new songwriter,
Yeah,
but
well,
so accomplished.
I
and-
wrote when I was younger, right? Like in elementary school, middle school, and then I tabled it. And I got involved in a lot of church music. I played on worship teams, led worship teams for, 15 years. And I still play on a worship team. And so that's very time consuming. And it being a mom, being a wife, I work part-time for a nonprofit. And it's very time consuming. So finding the actual time, it's got to be intentional for me to find the time to write.
Definitely. Definitely. And I think that's where, Sam was just up here, Samantha Grimes.
Yeah.
And, she talked about how she doesn't really play any covers. And that leaves her all the time to write, right? And we don't think about these things as artists. She's not thinking about the time that she's not spending learning other people's songs, right? And other worship songs and all of these other things that you have to do when, and I think especially for piano players, it's probably more so because you're so in demand. It's hard to find really good piano players. So when you are, you'll never be out of work. As long as you want to play music, you will
promise?
find somewhere to play. No, you definitely will.
It is hard to lug it around. It's not as portable, but it adds a lot, I feel.
And that probably has to do with, that there's something to that of why there aren't as many piano players these days.
Maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know.
That was a joy. Thank you.
Thanks.
Really reminded me that, winter is the time that we come back to our communities. We come back to our family. We come back together, right? This would never happen in the summertime because we're all so busy, right? We're all playing festival gigs, and we're playing 5 to 6 days, 7 days a week, some of us, right?
Sure.
That without the winter times and when life slows down a little bit and we have these seasons and starting to celebrate each season for what it is, right? And I think I need a copy of that book that you're reading.
Oh, it's wonderful, yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot more reading lately too, and that's probably why I cry a lot more as well, but oh. You think you can make me cry again, Christine? What's the next song that you got planned for us?
I don't know. My songs are all very personal, so maybe. This next song is called Wildflower, and it's actually about my daughter, who I mentioned before. She's almost 23. She is married. She's been married a year this past August. And a couple years prior to that, she kind of picked up and moved out to Wisconsin and was kind of starting over. Yes. And we love her. We still love her. We love her new family. She is still a Vikings fan. Yeah. Although she doesn't really understand football all that much, I don't think, but she would say she's a Vikings fan still. But yeah, we've just had just a joy watching her grow as a woman, and so this song is kind of about her moving out there and starting on her own as a young woman, and what is she going to do out there? How is she going to meet people? How is she going to connect and find a job and kind of adult, So this is called Wildflower. She arrived on the scene, a fearless little seedling, a smart and sassy sweet daddy's girl, tender and strong, looking for her place in this world, thirsty for a deep love, sinking her roots down deep in a small town. She knows what she wants to be. A wildflower dreaming stronger than any storm coming away. Face to the sunlight, fighting for what's right. Pure love, a little every day. There's nothing artificial about her. She's a wildflower. Now she's pouring out coffee, perfecting some hobbies, making jewelry out of spoons. It's church on Sunday and maybe on Monday she'll wander on down to the greenhouse on Brown, but she's lovelier than any of those blooms. Wildflower dreaming stronger than any storm coming away. Face to the sunlight, fighting for what's right. Pure love, a little every day. There's nothing artificial about her. She's a small town. She knows who she wants to be. Wildflower dreaming stronger than any storm coming away. Face to the sunlight, fighting for what's right. Pure love, a little every day. Wildflower dreaming stronger than any storm coming away. Face to the sunlight, fighting for what's right. True love, little every day. There's nothing artificial about her. She's a wildflower. Thank you.
Something so powerful about a mother's love coming out in song. I think that's a beautiful thing.
Thank you so much.
No, it's we all know the power of that, right? We all have mothers, and we know that love is fierce. And I think that you were made to write these songs, right? To write about that, to go and experience all of the raising the children and bringing that, bringing them to fruition now to where they're going out and starting their own families and building their own things. And now you get to write about that experience and watching them grow. Is she embarrassed by that song?
No.
No.
She doesn't really
Good.
get embarrassed much.
No.
No, she's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Well,
what
I
a
think
good
that's
kid.
what I really love about country music is that it opens up those doors to really, like you were saying earlier, storytell. And country music is not what I grew up with. I didn't really get into country music until I was in college, really listening to 90s country, and I loved it. And so being able to write country music is just, I feel the freedom to really write about what I want to write, which is very personal to me.
Yeah, and my story, I didn't find country music until I started dating my wife, 6 years ago. I grew up with, classic rock, and I grew up with a lot of good music, right? I was surrounded by it, and I knew, I knew a little bit of the music, but once I started listening to the Alan Jacksons and, guys like George Strait, and you're just like, wow, these stories are amazing. That's the connection, right? We're seeking self-expression through our music and through our songs, and in that, we find that that's the connection with other people. People are seeing reflections of themselves in the songs, right? In your self-expression. And that's the beautiful, powerful thing about music and songwriting, especially to that, is that you're connecting heart to heart now with someone else. You're not just playing a song that they love for another reason. Now they're hearing that song directly from you, and they're loving that song because it's you.
Sure.
And that's the power of being a songwriter as compared to a performer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
But how fortunate are those that can do both?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that's part of the beauty of performing live for people is whether you play covers or whether you play originals, you do get to engage and kind of have a conversation with the audience, which is so much fun. It's so much fun. But if you can connect with your own lyrics and it's something that they can connect with out there, that's magic.
Yeah,
that is absolute
it's
magic. And all of a
100x.
sudden you've made this connection and you may not even realize it till later how your own music can affect people.
Right,
So.
and that's the beautiful thing about this show in particular is that we can give you those songs to put out into the world without you having to go into the studio and put all that pressure on yourself to, we got to get it recorded and it's got to be perfect. And no, just come here and perform it and just put yourself out there, and then we'll put it out there and we'll share it with the world and help you find those connections.
Sure.
So.
But if you do need keys on a track.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, I'll be calling. So will all the rest of us here. It's pretty much 95% musicians in the room right now. Mark Joseph just walked in the door too. Hey, brother. This is a great thing that we've been doing here. And Christine, you do so much in the music scene around here. You mentioned your nonprofit earlier. Why don't you go ahead and talk a little bit about the nonprofit that you work for and what that is to the community as well?
Yeah, thank you so much. So I started working for this nonprofit out in the Glencoe, Arlington area. It's west of the metro quite a bit. Called To Be Continued. It's the number 2 and the letter B, continued. And it is a suicide prevention nonprofit. So we go into schools and communities and we get grants and donations and we provide free suicide prevention training. We teach others how to recognize signs and symptoms of distress or mental crises and what to do about it and what resources are available, because not everybody knows that there are a ton of resources or even what to say to someone who's struggling.
Right. I think that's so important, and I didn't know exactly what the nonprofit did, but the training and the just being able to recognize, like you said, the symptoms when you realize that people are doing it, and sometimes it's a simple conversation that can save someone's life.
Yep. And we're trying to reduce the stigma around actually talking about it, saying the word suicide or are you thinking of killing yourself? Like, it's just not in our vocabulary, and it needs to be to kind of open up those doors.
Totally.
Heal.
I mean, it's conversations, and especially because of the podcast and just, living my life behind a microphone essentially now all the time, the conversations are what changes lives, right? And you think back to your life and you're like, oh yeah, that talk that I had with them either, opened this and furthered my life or literally quite, saved you. And stopped you from doing something that you wanted to do,
Right.
that you really, nobody else wants you to do, right?
Absolutely.
So thank you for sharing a little bit about To Be Continued. I urge everyone to get on if you can afford to donate and support these organizations. Please do so. Please do so.
Thank you, yeah.
Christine, I got time for you to share one more song.
Okay, now I'm going to break the rules a little bit and actually do a cover.
I like it.
But it's a Christmas song, and so I figured it's Christmas season, and I did just put out an album, a little plug, of instrumental music on Spotify, and it's mostly instrumental and then one singing bonus track, and it's Oh Holy Night, so I thought I'd share that with you now. If that's
awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, there are no shameless plugs on this show.
Okay.
This is what the show is for.
It feels like a shameless plug.
No.
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining till He appeared, and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices. Oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born. Oh, night divine, oh, night divine, truly taught us to love one another. His law is love, and His gospel is peace. Chains shall He break, for the slave is our brother, and His name all oppression shall cease. Sweet hands of joy in grateful chorus raise, we let all within us praise His holy name. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices. Oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born. Oh, night divine, oh, night, oh, night divine. Thank you.
That was incredible, Christine. Go ahead and shamelessly plug everything else that you do for us.
So ChristinePassig.com, P as in Paul, ASSIG. So ChristinePassig.com is my website. You can find all the links there, but I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and on Spotify. See Passig Music on both Facebook
Awesome.
and Instagram.
Christine Passig, guys. Give a big round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you.